المدافعين تلقى الحل. لعبوا كورتين في دار المدافعين كانت يسجل الكره هذه وكره للاعب المارتين للاعب سواريز من سي ومن اللاعب تقريبا ماسكيرانو ومتيتي افضل لاعبين الوقت الحاضر، افضل لاعبين قدموا في مردودين من ناحيه وشاهدناهم يقدموا كثير، لكن حذاري لان مباراه
given the freedom, he hurdles several players. All of a sudden, Barcelona are finding a lot of space. Umtiti. Messi. Umtiti to Rakitic. Rakitic wide, perfectly placed for Sergio Roberto. Now Suarez. He has been strangely off his game.
Trying to get the first touch right there to get a shot away goal. A big improvement already from Barcelona.
Barca play the high line again. And, flag didn't have to be raised on that occasion.
You see the combination play between Messi and Suarez. Messi tries to find Suarez again. Rafinha to Neymar. The movement was so much more improved. There's people sprinting into the box. Pass was quicker. It was too much for Granada to deal with.
I was just looking for Lionel Messi's reaction then to see if he was offside. Well, here is offside. Suarez.
See Suarez just out reach of the first one, but it goes to Rafinha. Neymar off the post. Skillful play from Rafinha to hook it over his shoulder from close range. So the opening goal of the game for Barcelona.
That's the second successive home game that Rafinha on the score sheet. Scored 2 against Deportivo La Coruña. It's good to see him firing on all cylinders. He a very long spell out of the game. He missed 4 games last season from September to April. Obviously always going to take a while to regain the full match fitness, and he's getting better and better with every game. Barca are going to be out without Andres Iniesta for well, up to X, if you believe the medical reports that have been posted in the Spanish press. And in time they have to find a replacement for Iniesta, who's in the autumn years of his career. There's a place up for grabs. Will it be Denis Suarez? Will it be Rafinha? Will it be Gomez, who came in the summer?
There's only one Iniesta, Rob. There's no replacement, I'm afraid.
Well, they said that about Xavi, and Rakitic comes in and brings a different dimension, but they have to find somebody in the long term, in the short term and the long term, haven't they? Even if it's a different kind of player.
And Rafinha is doing really well. Of course, a player that Luis Enrique trusts. And then when his spell at Celta Vigo, where he performed really well there. He's tried to include him in most things, hasn't he, since being in charge of Barcelona. And that's a really to open the scoring in this match. Barcelona have to keep pace with Atletico, with Real Madrid, with Sevilla.
Well, Barcelona start this round of games on the same number of points as Villarreal, who play on that Sunday morning against Eibar. Titi to Dina. He's going to get a run in the team with Jordi Alba out. He's in on that left-hand side. Corner Barca.
See Glass gets his head up. Good defensive work from Nicarcella. Granada to open up. They've got still got to keep possibly can to Barcelona.
Neymar onto the near post where he's off the head of Mascherano.
There's no need yet for Granada to change their game plan. I'd obviously prefer to have been 0-0 with 10 minutes to go, but if it's just the one goal, it's a game. You might have an opportunity or two from set pieces. Maybe Lucas Alcaraz can one or 2 changes to the starting lineup, even the system of play.
Well, they have been important tonight, the Barcelona supporters behind the goal that they're attacking in the second half. The noise constant. It's always a danger when you have such a large footballing tourist trade. They come from far and wide to see the superstars of Barcelona. Not everybody knows every word to every song. They've kept it constant. An official crowd tonight of 82,914. Well, there's a decent travelling support going to Manchester City on Tuesday. Here's Cancelo Gonzalez.
That's your last throw of the dice, Rob, isn't it? player there that's worked so hard defensively, Mehdi Carcella, but likewise with this player, Andres Pereira, the two wide attacking players would dearly like to have a little bit more possession. One or two more chances to break down and beat that offside trap, that high line that Barcelona are playing, with Messi playing just in front of the back four.
There is Messi, tries to feed it through, but defending from Lombard. Now, can they launch an attack? They're playing an exceptionally high line, Barcelona. It is a dangerous system they're playing. They've tightened things up at the back. They have had 2 clean sheets in the last 3 inches. There's Messi. Ooh, it's a strong. The studs were shown. The referee was right on top of the situation there. This is Uche. Toral. Pereira. Balls into a familiar crowd of players. And then foul by Gabriel Silva on the Rafinha.
Just a collision there, isn't it? It was the right decision. There we see the challenge on Lionel Messi from Ruben Vezzo. No complaints from Lionel Messi.
Umtiti to Rakitic. Granada preparing to make a change. I don't think they're going to change the system, but this is Suarez, head down. Enough bodies in the way to stop him going direct to goal. Neymar. Cancelo kicking at thin air there as Neymar magically moved the ball away from him.
Kick across the knee, I think, here for Neymar.
I think he needs wicket keepers to protect him, doesn't he?
Promising play again from Luis Suarez, who has that ability, doesn't he, with that initial burst of pace, and then determined, aggressive play to almost bully himself past his markers at times.
Neymar and Messi try to hatch a plan. Messi sweeps it across. Denis Suarez. Well, there are places up for grabs at the City of Manchester Stadium on Tuesday night. This won't be far off the starting lineup. There's Busquets to come back in. Neymar's offside. There's the first change of the night. It's Andres Pereira, who's put in plenty of running. The youngster on loan from Manchester United is an attack-minded player. He had his moments, but managers like to make a change at the 1 hour mark. And his replacement is another young man who belongs to a Premier League club. It's Jerome Boga, who belongs to Chelsea. He's loaned here after last season, spending his footballing life in Rennes in France.
Well, Lucas Alvarez complaining. It's an untidy challenge from Mehdi Carcella. Not his first since half-time, I have to say.
It is an interesting model that Granada have. Borja, who's come on, is the 8th out of the 12 players who've represented Granada tonight to be here on loan for the season. There's Rakitic. Show the game being studied by Pep Guardiola, backroom team at Manchester City, looking for any chinks in the armour. Has been pretty well organised and safe. One or two slightly panicked moments in defence when they play the high line Barcelona. Neymar, Suarez and Messi have been reserved within themselves.
I think that's a fair statement, Rob. Luis Enrique would dearly like the second goal to put this game away.
Lionel Messi. One or two of the supporters might be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to Lionel Messi in the flesh of the Camp Nou, and they may feel that they've been let down tonight. Well, there's a man who's given absolutely everything. Sergio Roberto, brilliant ball to Neymar. Neymar takes his time and Ochoa makes a tremendous save. Dash and flash move from Barcelona.
Yeah, and all from Sergio Roberto, terrific from the right back. Showed a real stunning burst of pace to get up the field. Made the voice, gets the cross in early. Finds Neymar, controls it as quick as he can, gets his shot away as quick as he can, but is denied by a fine save from Ochoa.
Neymar over the heads of all. Ding to Roberto. Lionel Messi dings it into the flight path of Neymar.
You see that burst forward from right back Sergio Roberto. There was the cross. Good first touch from Neymar. Cuenca gets back. Neymar died by fine goal kicking Guillermo Ochoa.
Rakitic to Dean. That was a clear handball there from Cuenca. Mascherano. Sergio Roberto to Denis Suarez. Messi. The obvious ball is back to Roberto, to Denis Suarez. Luis Suarez skips his man, but Lombard wasn't losing him that early.
Lombard has been absolutely fantastic tonight. He's a no-nonsense defender. Always pretty solid. Up against Messi, Suarez and Neymar. The ex-Barcelona B player is holding his own.
Well, we mentioned that there's a number of players from the Premier League. There's 5 players in the squad who trade at Barcelona. Cuenca, Toral and Lamban are all out there in the colours of Barcelona B and Barcelona youth teams. Goalkeeper Oyer is on the bench. He's another one who played at Barcelona. And Sergi Sampo, interestingly, was loaned to Granada to get him some playing time, and he's not featuring tonight. This is Boga for Granada. He has options. Big counter-attack here, but it was Mascherano who took it upon himself to stem that flow. They're still playing it together.
On the counter-attack, just needs the timing of the pass run. Seems to have a real opportunity of finding an equaliser. Boga with the attempt. Mascherano did well to get back and make sure he got a block on the attempt at goal. Just need to pay a bit more care and attention. Granada to the 4 runs and get a chance. Just as I was saying that, careless play. Let's get caught offside again.
Crossed arms of Alvarez. It's nothing new for his team to be shut out here. They failed to score in 11 of the last 14 visits to the Camp Nou. And of course, if Barcelona beat them, then it would equal Barcelona's record of successive wins against an opposition at the Camp Nou. They beat Real Sociedad 23 seasons in a row here, and this will be win 23 out of 23 played against Granada. Neymar tees it up for Dino. Very easily into the team, hasn't he, and taken the place of Jordi Alba. The ideal for, well, I suppose any, certainly for Luis Enrique, is to have an option in every single position.
It appears to be a very good bite, Luca Dino. TT, who's settled him well.
Mascherano to Messi. Roberto. Messi. He's floated in midfield, giving the ball away far more often than he generally does. Denis Suarez. Digs in Suarez and tried to be too ambitious in finding his namesake Luis. Instructions being given to Andre Gomez. Will come on. And the next break of play for Barca.
It's a real static performance from Barcelona, isn't it? The defensive players want to play the ball forward, but there's very little movement between the front three.
Neymar. Suarez. Neymar stopped by Uche. Well, certainly the Granada players have been much closer to their collective maximum this evening than Barcelona. And that bit an apologies for the Catalan club. They are suffering a lot of injuries. They have, what, only 13 recognised senior players available. And maybe that's why I hold back with that massive game against Manchester in mind. Champions League played 3-1-3. beat Manchester City, then really, I suppose, the rest of November and December they can concentrate on the league, and maybe that's the grand plan. Plan for the moment is to introduce Andre Gomez and release Denis Suarez from his duties. Neat and tidy game from the 22-year-old who returned to the club in the summer after an impressive spell at Villarreal. As we said, with Iniesta out, there is a place up for grabs. You would expect Rakitic and Busquets to be two of the midfield three. The question is, who's the third? Gomez, Rafinha scored the goal tonight, or Suarez. One of those three would feature, I'm sure, against Manchester City when Luis Enrique will play his strongest available squad. Well, he's put in some mileage. Kravet's the sole striker. 71 minutes of solid, just under 10k. And David Barral comes on. Well, he'll be happy to get some playing time. He was claiming that the third choice keeper at the club had a better chance of getting some game time than him earlier this week. Thankfully for him, the manager hasn't taken that comment too personally, and he has 20 minutes to express himself at the Camp Nou. Suarez waited for the challenge that he knew was coming. Neymar digs it. He's fouled off the ball as it was a skittle towards Lionel Messi. It's getting a bit touchy down there.
I think it's Terrell eventually with the foul that is punished. They're still competing, they have every right to. Well, that's a dreadful challenge on Neymar. And Terrell cannot be surprised that he picked up a yellow card.
Barcelona do require the insurance of the second goal. Suarez let it go there. Must have been a call from Neymar on his shoulder.
I think Neymar's as surprised as anyone that Suarez... I'm guessing here that Suarez believed he might have been offside. Just a little over from Luis Suarez. It was always going to be difficult for Neymar to reach.
Maybe a change of players for Granada, but still keeping the same tactics. Interesting, as you said, that Cuenca, who was one of the front three when he did play at Barcelona, is effectively the right back this evening for Granada. All hands to the pump and all that.
His coat just about okay, Rob.
There's another player who's in a natural right back, but he plays there for Barcelona, Sergio Roberto, who has more than filled that gap this season. Still in the UK, some transfer rumors, possible right backs who may be moving to Spanish football. From one that raised Terry's eyebrows on a certain radio station this week. As Suarez turns brilliantly, makes the space. Gomez gets his first touch, but lost the opportunity. Momentum goes. There's Gabriel Silva.
Well, coming to the stage of the game now where the Granada manager might consider maybe a tactical change. Just approaching 15 minutes left. Just the one goal behind. And suggest that at the moment he throws everything at it.
Well, he may have to just hold fire on any tactical change, because he may have to make an unwanted change here.
Terrell has gone down with cramp, which is going to be difficult for him to continue for the last 15 minutes. See Neymar cuts across with the outside of his foot into the path of Luis Suarez. Similar type of pass resulted in a goal last week for Luis Suarez from the outside of the foot pass from Neymar. Andre Gomez there fouls to control quite miserably in the penalty area.
Look as though they're going to make the change, and John Terrell starting only his second game for Granada. He's going to come off. Replacement will be a player who's familiar to these surroundings. Sergi Samper, Barcelona to Granada. What kind of reception is he going to get? There's the answer. Positive.
I can only guess what it would be like in 15 minutes' time, though, if he was to score an equaliser.
Bit of criticism, wasn't it? If they got a penalty and he was asked to take it. Well, he is regarded as one of the next generation, Sergi Samper, 21 years of age. With the signing or re-signing of Denis Suarez and the signing of Gomez, he was always going to be struggling for playing time at Barcelona this season. And so he was loaned out to tonight's opponent, Granada. He's only actually had 90 minutes on one occasion so far, though, this season. For once, the flag stays down. It's now Uche. Boga, young man on loan from Chelsea, quite a talent his side, but he's got a reception committee of some famous faces. Samper to Uche. Sergio Samper playing to an audience that he would like to call his own for many years to come. Umtiti's header. Mascherano. Now Barão. Kind of 78 minutes, but Granada are now beginning to find their feet. Are they going to come out of their defensive shell, maybe?
They must feel now that it is safe to. I feared that the scoreline would be horrific tonight for Granada. That's not going to be. You might see Cuenca playing in a more advanced position. Will Alcaraz change the back five to a back four and push Cuenca forward?
Oh, Neymar is full of running. Plenty of energy in reserve. Brilliant run from the Brazilian. Messi's in supporting, and he's taken crudely down by Lombard. We have no defence, did he, the defender? There's a professional actor who is left all alone with the brilliant Brazilian.
Neymar just breezes past the Granada defence. Maybe one or two signs of tiredness amongst that Granada team. Have worked so hard. This is the best free kick that Barcelona have had situation-wise throughout this game. One or two that have been deeper.
20 metres is a tempting distance for Lionel Messi. That's where he wants to put it, between that part. If he gets it right, it's unstoppable. Messi, Wall does his job brilliantly once more. I don't know whether it's good for Manchester City big sell tonight. You could look at it that he's off form. Realist, he's maybe keeping something for Tuesday night, and he heads across the waters.
It's a risk, though. Mentioned already, they've slipped up against Alaves. And at 1-0, Barcelona should be a little bit edgy.
Minutes remaining. Barcelona with 10 shots at goal. Only one has beaten the keeper. Suarez to Dean. Neymar. The striker's had the most appetite tonight. Gomez. Beton. Rafinha. Now Rakitic. Neymar. The legs of Granada tiring as they've done the chasing this evening. Mentally as well, they have been so strong. No more performances like this, and they won't be sitting in bottom place for much longer. There's been a rapid improvement from the first game of Alvarez in charge when they were hammered by Atletico 7-1. That was on the back of 5 defeats in a row. Dini. Gomez. Rakitic strokes the ball perfectly to Sergio Roberto.
So Chamberlain uses his pace impressively.
Mascherano's cross.
Even more impressive
waiting.
by Alexis Sanchez gives Arsenal the lead.
The game is still alive.
Well, that was a classic bit of centre-forwards play from Alexis Sanchez. It really was when you look at his movement in the box. It's just a sneaking ahead of Kone. I mean, the cross, first of all, is top class from Oxlade Chamberlain. Look at that. Kone doesn't know where his man is. And that's what you want to do as a striker, as a centre-forward. Just at the right moment, sneak ahead. That's exactly what he does, and what a header. What a header. Beautifully crafted goal from Arsenal.
The defending near the game from Ruben Beto. Now they've got another striker to deal with here because Alcacer is about
Just kicking himself that he couldn't do anything about it.
Mascherano with a cross into the box, and central defender into a wide position.
And a penalty one end, give away one the other for Arsenal.
Suarez got the golden boot before the
That's
game.
all he has to do in a weekend.
LaLiga. He's had two glorious opportunities.
This time Martin Atkinson does point to the spot, and he's got a point. It's a foul.
Frustration. I think it's aimed at the coach. I think it's aimed with Paco. Alcacer has 7 minutes to
Has the opportunity.
Times against him. 8 games for his previous club, Valencia.
Granada likely have precious few chances, but you would expect set pieces, counter-attacks are going to be
He's never going to get much playing time. I think he's gone,
Of course,
so far this season without scoring a goal.
A ball put across. Ter Stegen gets his first touch.
Maybe a source of frustration. He's been
Comfortable save at
unlucky.
the end of his near post.
I
was going to say plenty of changes in the summer, of course.
Missing chances, but Barcelona, Enrique would have asked him to do a job tonight. Go on, finish this game off. Get amongst the goals.
There's Neymar to Messi. Messi turns, somehow comes away with the ball. Alcacer. Rafinha. They have the man on this near side in Dini. Now Gomez to Neymar. Trying to plead the crowd. Often gets a little bit of stick for provoking the opposition from some. Gives it with for 1-0 up. Now Barral. It's inside, but there's not a great deal of support. Cancela Gonzalez.
Surprised at Barral.
Granada.
I think he's got to play the pitch as high as he possibly
Likely
can.
have precious few chances,
of his
but
teammates
you would
behind
expect
him,
pieces,
working.
counter-attacks.
Get an equaliser, he has to be there out for him. He has to threaten him behind them, TT and Mascherano. He wants to come short, wants to get the ball to feet. Totally the wrong option for Granada.
Barcelona have expanded their La Masia project this week, the club's academy. Out there tonight from the club's academy. Interestingly, it's 3 aside at the moment. 3 former Granada team and currently 3 on the Barcelona team down there on the pitch. Dennis Suarez is one played for the youth sides. Head away, come back, earn his stripes. There's one of those former Barcelona starlets, Cuenca. Puts Ruben Vezo in a tricky situation. That's a dangerous game being played by Granada. I don't think they're asking where they're going to be having a pint for the game this evening. It's rare for Neymar to lose his cool like that as he gets into a head-to-head confrontation with Ruben Vezo. They still haven't stopped. It'll be a spat in Portuguese as Vezo is Portuguese, and I won't translate what he was saying there. Doesn't need it.
I cannot understand why Vezo has got involved though. It wasn't a particularly bad foul by Neymar. Paco Alcacer, former teammate of Ruben Vezo at Valencia last season. Get between them. Can Granada after all? One final attack, one final attempt. Will Barcelona pay for being so start second half when Rafinha got the goal in the 48th minute? And I think we all expected Barcelona to stride away from Granada.
Not too many supporters are leaving the stadium early. They feel there's life left in this game. Yeah, 2.5 minutes to endure. Barcelona 72% possession, just the one goal. Win to take second place ahead of Atletico and Sevilla. Opportunity here for breath.
I cannot believe Cuenca was considering taking a quick free kick there. It's a chance. It's a chance to get the central defenders up. They've got 3 of them. Sure, the delivery is good. It's going to be swung in, left-footed.
Well, they normally stay. Alvarez on the bench, losing his cool. Barcelona bring their players so far forward now. Massive gap between the last defender and Ter Stegen.
How careless was that set piece, though? Went for delivery and Cuenca just casually chipped it in, barely got it off the ground. Barcelona.
There's Lionel Messi. Well, that isn't what we expect from Messi when he breaks through like that. Dari, 29th of October 2016, Lionel Messi. And off.
A really pass from Alcacer. Let's see what Messi was trying to do, just elevate it over the goalkeeper with a little dink. Clearly got too much on the finish and lobbed it over the crossbar.
Well, it goes in waves, doesn't it? As Messi's had an off day, Lionel Messi. Cristiano Ronaldo got a hat-trick earlier today. The 4-1 win against Alaves. The citizens of Manchester will be hoping that Messi's having an off week, never mind an off night.
He's been in good form, hasn't he, since coming back from his little injury. I'd say good form, 6 in his last 3.
Yeah, 6 in 3 after 3 out.
And one of those was only for about 10-15 minutes, so they'd have certainly been off colour tonight, Barcelona.
Titi rolls it back to Ter Stegen. Goalkeeper hasn't recorded a save this evening and not a catched across. That'd be interesting to see whether he's touched the ball with his hands tonight.
It was a near post shot
in the first few minutes. It wasn't the first minute, yeah. And we have 3 additional minutes. He's going to sleep well. Uche got in a lot of running in midfield. The 21-year-old who is on loan from Watford. Well, people say the teams at the lower end of La Liga wouldn't survive in the Premier League. Well, half of this Granada team belongs to Premier League parentage.
I'm surprised, though, I have to say. All the credit in the world to Granada. I'm surprised by their lack of ambition in the later stages of the game.
Ter Stegen. Easy to say, though, isn't it? They have dug very deep into their reserves of energy tonight. Their confidence matters as well. Bear in mind, this is a club that has lost 6 of the 9 games this season. People expect them to come here tonight as the sparring partner, heavyweight, to be torn apart.
Just thought with 10 minutes to go, just the 1 goal behind, they might have just tinkered with things at the back. Maybe try and get someone closer to the sole striker.
And Barcelona content to play keep ball for the remaining couple of minutes of this game. Sergio Roberto feeds it through, and a brilliant interception from play. Must be close to man of the match tonight, David Lombard. There's Gomez. This time it's Vezo. Well, the 3 central defenders have had excellent evenings for Granada, belying the statistics of having the worst defensive record in Spain. Titi gives the ball away. Is there a final sting in the tail? Can they launch an attack? If they got a corner, it'd be worth it. Barral puts it in. Boredom is broken for Ter Stegen. That was the last, I think, of the Granada resistance.
Yes, it was a decent cross, but just one player, Cuenca, looking to get in the box to try and get an equaliser. Understandable that they are so tired.
Well, he's got to be happy. He's got something to work with. This is a club who were bottom of La Liga last season between September and October. In February, they were 4 points off safety, Granada, and they turned it around in the spring part of the season. And it has been an excellent performance tonight, you have to say, from Granada. Bottom of the La Liga pile. They will stay there tonight, but they have put up a tremendous resistance against Barcelona. They've kept them at bay. Barcelona have had to work very hard for their victory. In the end, it was just a single goal from Rafinha as they closed the gap on Real Madrid at the top of the table. Tight affair in the end, but ultimately a Barcelona win. Barca 1, Granada 0.
That will do. Let's through all of the results so far on match day 10. Real Sociedad winning 2-0 at Butarque, courtesy of Xavi Prieto and Willian José. Sport holding Sevilla at El Molinón after Luciano Vieto had opened the score. Gomez with the equaliser. Real Madrid went behind early at Alaves, but replied with a Cristiano Ronaldo hat-trick despite the fact he missed a penalty. Alvaro Morata with the other goal. Atletico Madrid also scoring 4, 2 for Carrasco, 2 for Gameiro, and Stefan Savic was also sent off. 3-2 at 1 point there. And